Nah, kawannya berarti yang tahu yang ditunjuk lah ya?
Ada kawannya.
Nah,
Nah, kawan
nah. Hei. Wah, kada beres lang ini dah.
Kuyang, the name of a legendary ghost on the island of Borneo, Indonesia. She takes the form of a woman. During the day, Kuyang can disguise herself as an ordinary human who blends in with the surrounding environment and does activities like humans in general. However, it is different at night. She can release her body and fly with only her head and body parts, such as the heart, liver, intestines, and kidneys. When Kuyang flies at night, it is usually followed by a kind of small red light. Kuyang has 2 teeth on the left and right sides of its mouth. The danger of Kuyang is that it can target babies in the womb. To trick its victims, Kuyang can at any time transform into a bird or a cat. Kuyang usually approaches women who are heavily pregnant and rubs their stomachs. The Kuyang ghost comes from a living human who can transform into a blood-sucking creature. According to legend, Kuyang is often associated with black magic and supernatural powers. Some people believe that Kuyang has the ability to suck human blood, especially the blood of babies in a woman's womb. This creates fear and suspicion in society, especially in pregnant women. Several rituals and hereditary practices have developed to protect themselves from the threat of Kuyang.
Let me tell you a story. A story that still gives me goosebumps every time I think about it. There was a young woman named Rina, who lived in a small village on the edge of the forest. She was 9 months pregnant and lived alone because her husband worked out of town. At night, strange things started to happen. At first, it was just the sound of flapping wings on the roof of her house. Soft at first, then getting louder, like something was flying around the house. She peeked out the window, but there was nothing. Just the wind and the dark night sky. One night, Rina woke up gasping. Her stomach hurt. It hurt so bad. It wasn't an ordinary pain. It felt like something inside her was pulling, clawing. She held her stomach and cried, but no one heard. To ease the pain, Rina laid down on the bed and soon fell asleep. Then, she started dreaming about a floating woman. Her face was scary, her hair was long and black, and her organs were hanging below her head. The woman stared at her stomach, licking her lips. The villagers started whispering, "That's Kuyang, he's after the baby." Rina was too scared to sleep. Every night, she covered her stomach with garlic and ashes, just like the old people said. But still the pain came. It was like there were invisible claws inside her body. One night, she woke up to find her window wide open, even though she was sure she had locked it. And on the floor were drops of blood. No one had ever seen a Kuyang but Rina. Rina swore the creature was real. And she still remembers the pain in her stomach, like something was trying to take her baby. Rina couldn't take it anymore. Her stomach was getting worse, tense, hot, as if there was something living inside it, clawing to get out. Then she called a shaman to come to her house. The shaman's name was Makpur. After she arrived at Rina's house, Makpur, the old woman looked at her for a long time. Then, she took a small mirror that was usually used to see what was happening in someone's body. Then she put it near Rina's stomach. What did they see? It wasn't normal. The mirror was foggy. Then slowly a shadow of a dark face appeared, crooked and grinning, behind Rina's stomach skin. That was it. Kuyang, waiting, lurking from within. Macper was shocked and said, "He's already inside your body." Rena screamed. That night, Macper stayed at Rena's house. She drew strange symbols on the walls with chalk and lit incense in every corner. She told Rena not to fall asleep. But as midnight approached, the air grew cold. The candles shook, then went out one by one. There was a low growl from the roof, the sound of something crawling. And then, Rena screamed in pain, holding her stomach as if something was moving inside, twisting, trying to get out. Macper threw a handful of salt and began chanting a spell in an incomprehensible language. Suddenly, something invisible hit the wall hard. The wall was splattered with blood. A hissing sound echoed in the room. Then silence. But the pain never really went away. Until the baby was born, no crying, no words, only showing wide open eyes, staring intently. Then the next day, she called the midwife to come to her house. After checking Rena and her baby's health, the midwife said, "He's healthy." But Rena wasn't sure. Since the first time she held him, her hands had been shaking. There was something cold about the baby. His skin felt too smooth, too cold, as if he wasn't born from a mother's womb, but from something else. Days passed, and strange things began to happen. Animals would not come near the baby. Cats hissed. Dogs barked and howled, even from across the street. Then at night, Rena would sometimes wake up to find her baby sitting up in bed, staring at her, even though he was only a few weeks old. She tried to convince herself that it was all stress, that she was hallucinating. But one night a cry was heard, not from her baby, but from inside the walls. A loud, shrill cry, like a woman crying with blood in her throat. Rena pressed her ear to the wall and heard a voice, a woman's voice. "Give him back. He's mine." Rena froze. Her heart nearly stopped beating. She ran to the crib. The baby was gone. Only a trail of black liquid remained, leading to the open window. The trail of black liquid led into the forest. Rena didn't think. She just ran, barefoot in the cold night air, following the sticky trail. The trees whispered. The wind hissed. Shadows moved where they should have been still. And then she found it. A circle of stones. In the middle of it, her baby, lying still, open. But Rena was not alone. Standing behind the stones was an old woman. Her body was thin, her hair long and wild, her face half covered by a red cloth. It was Macper. Rena stepped back and said, What are you doing?" Macper did not answer. Her eyes shone in the dark. "Mac.purred," she said. "You shouldn't have survived," she whispered, "after what your mother did." "What do you mean?" Rena asked. Macper smiled. Cruel, crooked smile. Mac.purr. answered. "You betrayed our bloodline. You refused the sacrifice. Kuyang." He waited. "And now it's your turn to pay." Rena screamed as Macper raised her hand. A strong wind blew from behind the trees, and from the shadows the Kuyang came. Its head floated, its intestines protruding like tentacles. Its mouth was wide open, unnatural, full of hunger. Rena protected her baby. Rena then closed her eyes. A few moments Rena opened her eyes. The Kuyang was gone. Macper was gone too. All that was left was ashes. And her baby, still breathing, stared at her. But in his eyes there was something else. Several weeks passed. Rena began to realize that something was wrong. Her baby was not growing. She drank milk, but her body remained small, ill, cold. The doctor said, maybe her growth is slow. But Rena knew this was not normal. When night fell, the village dogs howled. The air smelled of rotting flowers. And Rena felt it. Something was coming. She locked the door, covered the windows with garlic and salt. She held her baby tightly, singing a soft song while crying. Then the wind stopped. Kuyang hissed softly and growled. Rena tried to protect Arga, but her body was thrown against the wall. Her head hit. Blood flowed, her vision blurred. Through the blurry vision she saw it. The Kuyang wrapped the baby with its intestines, carrying it, then began to eat it. First its little feet, then its hands, then its whole body. Silence. No screams, no resistance, only the sound of flesh being torn, and the satisfied grunts of a satiated creature. When Rena crawled back into bed, nothing was left. No bones, no blood, only the faint smell of smoke, and the image of a small smile drawn from the ashes on the wall.
That's a very scary story, isn't it?
If you don't want this ghost to come to your house, you are advised to subscribe.